Hello and welcome to Money Matters. Since the pandemic started over a year ago, health has become a focus for many as people realize the need to have a strong immune system. This has meant healthy eating, along with the sale of healthy foods, is on the rise. I spoke with one health food retailer that's seen a 100% increase in business during the year of COVID, as well as a woman who changed her diet at the start of the pandemic to improve her health.
My kids love this. So this one today is a sourdough.
Why is sourdough so special?
It's better for you than regular bread. The gluten load is much less. It's better for your gut, basically.
Val Taylor decided to go vegan a year and a half ago when the pandemic started. Knowing she'd be homebound with her family, she would have time to study recipes and try them out.
For me, the whole point of this was to really look at how I was fueling my body and to really drop anything that was processed. So very little of what I cook for myself comes even out of a can.
In the first 3 weeks, the changes to her body were drastic. She says she lost 5 kilos. Since she began, she's lost a total of 11 kilos.
I had been working out at the gym like a crazy person and not seeing any results, and I was feeling very tired. All of a sudden I had this massive surge of energy just from adjusting what I ate. So this is homemade almond milk. I just made it this morning. I soaked the nuts overnight, and it's just nuts and water, filtered water. I don't waste the nuts. I use this in keto bread, which is, bread is expensive.
Val says that she's actually spending less on food by going vegan. What it does cost her is time.
At the beginning, I was spending a lot of time. I would say I spend 2 to 3 hours in the kitchen a day.
And she goes to the market a few times a week for fresh produce.
Yes, please.
With all the washing and chopping involved, she says it's worth investing in a good blender, food processor, and dehydrator. For those who don't have time to make their own healthy meals, there are many options. One survey shows that 73% of Hongkongers have used online channels to buy groceries more frequently than before in 2020, and that 84% will likely continue to do so in the future. Shima Shimizu, who started her online food business back in 2016, says that COVID was a game changer for her.
We basically doubled our sales, maybe even more. Yeah, it was a huge growth. I think until then, Hong Kong people were not really open to ordering food online. They want to call us and say, so what is it like? How do we order? And, we got a lot of inquiry before people placed their first order. But 2020, no questions asked. People were ordering things online.
That same year, she decided to get a physical space for her goods, as well as her cooking classes, which she had been running since 2010. Not only does she stock her own goods, she's also a retailer for imported brands. So how much has your stock grown?
I think now we have like 2,000 different types of products, so that's quite a lot, yes.
Whether imported or locally made, the products are several times more expensive than their standard counterparts. Keto bread, for example, can set you back $150.
Keto bread is made out of almonds and eggs, and that's pretty much it. So if you compare the price of a bag of almonds and a bag of flour, the price is obvious there. Yeah, it costs much more. If you go to the grocery store and look at the price of sugar, and you can see that it's very cheap. So we don't use processed sugar at all. We use monk fruit sweetener, stevia, coconut sugar, and like healthy alternatives.
Despite the high price tag, people are willing to spend the cash on what they don't have time to make themselves. Shima was forced to expand to meet demand.
Early 2020, our kitchen was screaming, like, don't take any more orders, we can't cope with it. So yes, that's why we had to hire more people, hire more full-timers.
She says the majority of her customers are women aged 25 to 55, while her cooking courses are popular with the 20 to 30-somethings. She herself was a vegan back in 2008 and is a qualified vegan chef, but eventually switched to eating healthy, non-processed foods, the types of things she sells in her store and teaches in her classes. It's also something she wants to share with others.
I want to focus more on helping people to transform their health and diet and really taking charge of their health. So I'm focusing more on working with professionals like maybe health coaches, trainers, doctors, and so that they can help their clients make better choices.
Like Bal, she says the return on healthy eating for her was her energy levels.
Like everyday life, just by having more energy and being able to perform their best and, you know, the happiness that comes inside, this is really priceless.
Nutritionist Dr. Sonal Hatangdi Haridas agrees.
You have to weigh out the cost versus benefit ratio in terms of what you're investing in your health versus how much you want to spend on a disease later. So you'd rather spend a little more in buying the right vegetables, and if you do eat the right kind of chicken or fish, the right meat, rather than then later on have to pay doctor's bills because you weren't paying attention to your body for such a long time.
She sees the fallout from fad diets in her patients. She says many become deficient in nutrients because they suddenly decide to follow strict diets.
If one decides that they want to try one of the diets or the others, consult your physician, talk to them about it, discuss it. If your GP is aware of it, that's wonderful, or go to a nutritionist, discuss it there. Make sure you get the blood work done to see where you're at nutritionally before you start the diet. And once you start the diet, make sure you check on how things are.
Bal did just that when she started on her healthy journey last February 2020.
Cholesterol is superb. You have the cholesterol levels of a 20-something, 30-year-old. Oh, wow. Very good. The iron is well within limits. It is not too low, which is something we worry about when someone switches to becoming vegan.
Thank you. I have to keep going. It's an everyday thing, but I'm having fun with it. I really enjoy cooking, I think, is what's helping a lot.
Many worry the food may not taste good.
This is a zucchini hummus, and I've put it just with some whole seed crackers. If you would like to try it, Good.
I can't believe I like vegan food.
And she's not the only one who benefits from healthy eating. While her family hasn't adopted her diet, they are unknowingly reaping some of the benefits.
I'm producing food in my kitchen that I would then sprinkle chicken or fish on the top of for my family. So I think my family are also getting some benefits from that too.
Without really knowing.
Without really knowing. My husband has always had a thing against zucchinis, but he eats zucchini a lot. He just doesn't realize.
A few miles from the Gulf of Mexico sits Avery Island in the state of Louisiana.
We're in the marshes, which means we're basically at sea level. Avery Island is a high point in that. It's 168 feet tall. It's a salt dome.
Osborne's family started making Tabasco sauce here in 1868. Today, the company makes about 700,000 bottles of Tabasco sauce a day. They're sold in nearly 200 countries and territories worldwide.
We've been making Tabasco sauce here for 152 years. We've been, it started out as sort of the original cottage industry. It was made in my great-great-grandfather's pigeon-air, if you will, and he was making it in the 1860s, late 1860s, 1870s.
The family that makes the #1 hot sauce is also in a heated battle fighting erosion in the wetlands buffering its factory from the Gulf of Mexico. Osborne says conservation of the island's land and resources has been key to the company's success. All rely on these marshes for survival. Volunteers flock to the island every summer to help plant smooth cordgrass in areas where flooding and erosion are apparent.
Most of your grasses you have to plant on the bank line. This stuff you can actually plant in the water. And what it does is it forms a barrier so it catches the sediment behind it. So you get the other grasses that take off behind it. And as it builds up, you reclaim marsh.
Slowing erosion the Louisiana way at an easy but persistent pace. Protecting Avery Island and the century-old Tabasco business for generations to come.
When Money Matters returns, Sai Kung Property presents yet another unique Hong Kong lifestyle choice. Find out more after the break. Welcome back to Money Matters. Sai Kung is home to many places where yachts and sailboats can find convenient moorings in the safety of cozy little marinas. Hebe Haven is one such harbor where residents can live close to their floating pleasure crafts. As our district property tour continues, Alice Kahn reports on houses where the boats are literally at the doorstep.
After visiting a few hidden gems in Sai Kung district, we return to another picturesque neighborhood to explore some waterfront villas. Apart from the Sai Kung Pier, Hebe Haven is a well-known and exclusive area with a natural harbor for all manner of waterborne fun. This week, we explored this 36-year-old residential estate, Marina Cove. Developers have built 6 phases, 465 blocks, providing 535 residential units. The size ranges from 522 to over 3,500 square feet. Some properties look out at a mountain view and some overlook the harbor and sport their very own pontoon docks. The average sale price in this estate is about $22,500 per square foot, down 21% since mid-2019 amid economic uncertainties and the pandemic. Rents are from $45,000 to $75,000. 20% of residents in this estate are expats. Prices and rents have flagged as some expat residents have moved out.
The tenant, they would think about maybe in the foreseeable future, maybe they can't see there is much change in Hong Kong's economic. That's why they would choose to stop the tenancy.
This villa is more than 1,300 square feet. It has 3 bedrooms, a garden, a car park, and a private pontoon dock just within gloating distance. The asking price is $35 million, or nearly $25,500 per square foot, which is more than the going rate. Mr. Ho is the homeowner. He bought the house for $25 million in 1989. His son plans to move overseas, so he and his wife want to sell the house and move into a smaller flat.
It's very quiet, and the house is big. We start moving there this time. Only my wife and my son and daughters. 4 persons stay in this house. Have a 3-bedroom. It's quite big. Also, it's easy for clean. Also, summertime, sometimes we don't need to air condition. Have a wind coming in. That also early morning you start to go to exercise in the house, the boat parking there. So why we now plan to sell this house? Because me and my wife, the age is go old. The climb the staircase is so hard, so we try to sell it.
Mr. Ho's asking price is higher than the average, but the agent says it's still attractive.
if you buy a similar size house in Stanley, it might cost at least 50 million, but here it is only around 60% of it, which is around 30 million.
We took a closer look to see if the price meets a buyer's expectations. A huge living room on the ground floor overlooks the harbor and the boats. The absence of a bay window means the efficiency is high.
So Alice, let's check out the living room first. This is very large, it's around 300 square foot, and you can see after the owner puts a lot of large furniture, you still have a lot of space, which really fits the expats because they love large furniture.
It has a very large window.
Yes, as you can see, there is like a floor-to-ceiling glass sliding door, and there is a large terrace in front of you. It's around 150 square foot. So on sunny days, you can have a barbecue or party here.
Then what sort of a buyer do you think this property will attract to?
Yeah, this house is very unique because there is a stairs. When you walk down, you can access to your own pontoon. So this house is definitely appeal to the people who own a boat because if they park the boat here, they only charge only $750 per month. But if you buy a house without a pontoon, you can only rent for a parking space, which charge around $5,000 per month.
But if I don't have a boat, then what's the point to buy this property?
Because this complex is the one and only one in Hong Kong that you can have a pontoon right in front of your garden. So there's quite a lot of buyers who doesn't have a boat. They still want to buy a house with a pontoon because if they want to buy a house for investment, they think that the increase of the house with a pontoon is much higher than the house without a pontoon.
A house with no pontoon dock is about $5 million lower. One floor up is the kitchen and the dining area. It's almost 300 square feet and overlooks the other houses in the estate. The ensuite master bedroom is on the first floor. The size is 150 square feet with a large bathroom.
You can fit a queen size or a king size bed, and you can still have a 3-size walk.
And also you can put a large wardrobe as well.
Yes, there's a large wardrobe, and you can put even a TV set or other cabinets.
The master bedroom has a harbor view and overlooks the Marina Club.
So Alice, this is the common area outside the master bedroom, and it is around 80 to 90 square foot.
Then can we put wardrobe or cabinet here?
Yes, definitely. Because when the owner's children, when they were small, they use it as a study area. But also you can take it down and then put your wardrobes and cabinet here in order to increase the storage spaces.
There were more bedrooms on the second floor.
So Alice, there are 2 bedrooms on this floor. Let's take a look at the first one. It is around 100 square foot, and actually you can put a double bed and then you still have a 3-size walk.
One of the bedrooms is quite close to the other villas and so may not be as private as a buyer would like.
We are now in the second bedroom, and it is around 90 square foot.
But this wall takes up lots of space.
Yes, because there's a guest toilet next to it. That's why, obviously, the landlord uses it as a kids' room because it fits a single bed.
The balcony also takes up some space. It looks out on the estate and a bit of the harbor. The villa is designed with split floors, and that gives it 2 rooftops that are multi-purpose.
We are now at the rooftop, and normally the owner uses it as a laundry area. And actually outside is around 150 square foot, and as you can see there is a washing machine inside, so it's more convenient for the helpers to do the laundry. And actually upstairs there is another rooftop that's a little bit bigger, around 200 square foot, so you can put some outdoor furniture.
As the villa is very close to seawater, the buildings could suffer erosion from the moisture and salt. The estate has shops that offer daily essentials. Mr. Ho says he's going to be patient as he waits for the right buyer.
Why not hurry for the sale? If you have a good price, I sell it. If you know a good price, I keep it. After the border is open, everything, let the China margin come in here, maybe the prices go up again.
There's no other complex can compare to this, to Marina Cove. So the demand is very high.
The section of the often congested Hiram's Highway near Marina Cove has been widened to ease traffic congestion. Or the adventurous can opt for a water route into town, just a few steps away. Right fielder Chad Pinder had to leave the game after getting hit behind the left ear with an errant splitter from pitcher Junior Guerrera. Pinder was down for the count several moments before being helped off the field. But that's another sport. Pinder needs an equipment upgrade. In the top of the sixth, the pinch hitter and man whose mullet needs its own Disney movie fouls a pitch into the seats, only to be nabbed by this baby-enhanced mom. Time to pitch infants as standard equipment for the pros. The Padres lost to the Chicago Cubs, but that baby and his mom are quite the double play. Even footy fans and players have to dodge flying objects, and we're not talking about the ball. A Greenpeace paraglider accidentally swooped onto the field before France played Germany at the European Championship. He was only supposed to drop a protest message against car company Volkswagen, demanding it dump its fossil fuel cars in favor of electric ones, preferably not in a landfill. Several spectators were injured after the protester glided into overhead wires, causing some debris to fall into the stands. The glider was aided by a good defense. When Greenpeace promptly tweeted an apology, its carbon footprint firmly planted in its mouth. It's highly likely the conservation activists won't be recycling this stunt anytime soon. And as President Joe Biden bridges the gap with Congress to pass his $1 trillion infrastructure bill, these Peruvians, well, they just get on with it. The old bridge had been used for over 500 years to connect communities divided by the Apurimac River. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, the bridge did not get the usual maintenance and fell down in March. So some acrophiles in the community decided to rebuild the hanging Cheshuachaca Bridge using traditional Incan weaving techniques. Yes, weaving all 33 meters of a bridge. It would be 1.2 meters wide and several hundred meters above the river. Anyone afraid of heights had to get over it.
That's the show. Thanks for watching. Next time on Money Matters, the joy of selling the pleasures of the sea. Good night.